What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Healthy Choices Wellness Corp. It did IPO today. I want to go over some things that you need to know and why they're most likely going to be a lot more downside coming. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, it is sitting at $5.47. This is the IPO day, so there is no plus or minus. But in theory, based on all of the previous S1s, HCMC was anticipating between that $9 and $11. So the fact that it is sitting at $5.47 is a pretty big slap in the face. But then again, for those of you that have been watching my channel, this has been the writing on the wall, right? So even 2 months ago, I did a video from here, 196X. Some people just read the thumbnail and said that, oh, you're pumping it. That was being sarcastic, because if you actually did read through all of the S1s, HCMC, through the spinoff of the assets, was somehow magically assuming that their assets were going to appreciate 196x. Does not make sense. So again, the writing has been on the wall. Once the IPO did launch, it was going to sell off. And I did state this time and time again. And actually, you know what the funny thing is right here? Management estimates 90% drop. This was done 3 months ago, because based on their S1, it was forecasting roughly like a $3 kind of post-IPO settlement. And that is after all the dilution that needs to be done. But interestingly enough, this is IPO day and none of that dilution has really occurred yet. So there might be a little bit more of a further drop even from there. But aside from that though, no actual news from the company itself, both HCMC or HCWC, to really announce pretty much anything. So it does really suck. Today is the very first day. So HCWC under Ortex, unfortunately, don't have any information whatsoever regarding shorting, but I do anticipate shorts to be very, very active. I myself even stated the only way to make money from this whole spinoff is to short HCWC. Just regrettably, IBKR, what I use for shorting, they don't even see HCWC yet. So it still shows NA. I think a lot of places are still not really recognizing it. Even, for instance, Unusual Whales, if you type in HCWC, nothing. That's still SoFi, but no tickers found right up here. So yeah, it's just stuck in limbo. So most likely once all of this does update tomorrow, we'll see exactly to the extent what shorts were really doing. But I think, like I said, logical investors like myself knew that this spinoff was going to be a disaster. And it's not just the fear in the market right now. This is solely HCMC and the management through that spinoff of their assets. And yeah, it's kind of comical. Gurgavin did post this. So India just had their biggest IPO today and it hit records, right? So it went up 130%. So this is reminding me of like 2021, 2022, when any IPO that kind of was launched went up through the moon. And Rivian is a very good example during that time period of 2021. But with this whole spinoff, again, it goes to show the market's tolerance for companies relying on toxic debt. And I have stated this time and time again, before this spinoff was even launched earlier this year, HCMC was already taking on debt for HCWC before any of this even came to fruition. So again, it's not the best, and it's kind of funny. In my last video when I went over the announcement and stuff like that, some people think that I don't know what a spinoff is. Like yes, they are separate companies. HCMC is now just dealing with, what is it, qcup, the lawsuit and whatever other crap that they didn't want, and then the rest is going to be spun off to HCWC. So the assets, they are not the same company, so obviously just be aware of that. But the management from HCMC, so the ones that pretty much took and dragged it down to the ground, never bought a single share using their own money, just was awarded shares and then ultimately just dumped them. That is now managing this company right here. So once again, yes, HC, I guess, well, the grocery chain was really moving in the right direction based on their last earnings, HCMC, but still, this isn't going to cut it for Wall Street. Wall Street is cutthroat right now. So in theory, I do feel that there is going to be a little bit more, not little, there's going to be significant more downside. So is right now a good time to buy? I would say definitely not. So let me know your thoughts about this whole spinoff. Are you happy that it's finally done? Did you sell after the whole spinoff did happen? Or have you been buying? Do you really like the, spun off assets? And what is your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And my apologies on being overly bearish. I always like to give the companies the benefit of the doubt and the management, but honestly, this has been dragged on way too long, ever since 2022, August, when they announced a 4-point plan. They just dropped the ball, and I feel they did that on purpose, postponed all of that because they wanted to kind of benefit more. So they wanted maybe some hype. So especially around that whole previous announcement for the ex-dividend date, they sold a ton of stock during that time frame. So maybe they just wanted it to pump up, or maybe they were anticipating the lawsuit to be concluded at that stage. But I think no matter what, though, it's the management that is toxic, and that is going to be the downfall already of HCWC. So let me know your thoughts. One final thing, take advantage of this promo because it is free shares. You might as well do it. It gives you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you guys watching.